Alrighty, we all know to become a consistently profitable trader, you need that patience and discipline to wait for your A+ setups, which is probably the biggest thing I lacked for my first year of day trading. So to work on improving my discipline, I finally started to switch things up in my trading, like how I switched over to trading on the 5-minute chart last week. But as we saw from that video, there are still a lot of bad habits I need to work on, and I'm not gonna lie, this week I did succumb to those voices in my head that led me to breaking my discipline and rules. But I would say that throughout the week, I was slowly getting better at saying no to that voice. So hopefully that shows some improvement in my discipline, but let me know what you think. Alrighty, so to start off the month of June, I was feeling hopeful that this month would be different, but then I just got cooked today. Initially on the day, I was a bit unsure of a direction as we have just been ranging, but I was leaning a bit bearish. But off market open, prices skyrocketed all the way up to test the top of the range near the 400s, just to then get slapped all the way back down hella fast too. So as we broke back below the 5-minute moving average, I was like, maybe we're just gonna have a fat sell-off after hitting the highs, and did try a short here wanting that push lower. However, I kind of realized that news was coming in a few minutes, so I reduced my target to see if we could hit that before news, but nah. So I did just bail out for a small loss before news, which yeah, news hit and price did get slapped down, so damn it. With that, I was a little salty, so I might have been a little impatient and just chased into a short down here wanting to catch a break lower, but nope, I was immediately wrong for a fat loss. And after that fat loss, I could sense myself starting to lose my sanity as I just jumped in another short without any real confirmation here, and I was really just hoping to see price get slapped down fast, which it did for a second before getting bought back up, so yeah, I just bailed out for another small loss. After that though, I did see this fat wick reject price down below the moving average, so I jumped back in another short. However, from my testing, usually when price gets sticky around the 5-minute moving average, it tends to mean I'm about to be wrong. And here price was just hovering all around the 5-minute moving average with the 1-minute chart looking like that, but I wasn't really thinking straight at this point and was tunnel vision into seeing a break lower, which didn't happen as price just popped up to stop me out for another loss. With that loss, you know I was about to crash out hard. But with only having about $100 left till I hit my max drawdown for the day, I did the responsible thing and I sized down to 2 contracts to go against the market again with this short, which after it got bought up, I was like, yeah, this is wrong, and I just bailed out for a break even. With that, I did come to my senses to just stop trading for today because I was just doing horrible, even though in my mind I was like, technically I'm only risking $100 more if I do keep going. So I don't know, did I make the right call to stop myself, or should I just have kept going? In the end, I am down $500 to start off this week and the month, so woo. Alrighty, so after reviewing yesterday's trades, I can confirm that every trade was trash and I shouldn't have taken any of them. So for today, I just gotta keep calm and not get FOMO after seeing some fat candles. And for today, I am bullish and kind of want to see price break above these 550s to hit the 650s or even higher. And price did break it right off market open, but not for long as price did just get slapped back down on the same candle. So I was a little more hesitant on trying to long here because price could just keep falling down, but I said fuck it and tried to long here. However, I was a bit too early and had a little too tight of a stop loss as price just came down and tapped me out for a loss to start off the day. Then we did get that pop up, so yeah, I re-entered long wanting to catch the move up before news at 7, which we did get hella fast, so I was like, we got some more time till news, let's see if price can go higher. So I moved my target up higher and put my stop loss at break even to protect myself, and yeah, that was a mistake as price suddenly got shot out of the sky to not only hit my stop loss but also made me lose about $30 too. But if I just held my OG stop loss, I would have been fine as price would have hit the 600s, where I probably would have just bailed out before news. So fuck, man. Then news hit and price just jumped up even more, so instead of revenge trading, I just took a break and had an alert set to see if price got near the 5-minute moving average again, which it did trigger, but damn, that's a fat candle down. So I was a little too scared to jump in right now, but I eventually did jump in along after seeing this fat wick up and seeing this 1-minute candle get bought up. But yeah, this is a fat stop loss, so I wasn't feeling too comfortable about it, so I did end up moving it slightly below this green candle. And honestly, I was more confident about this trade after seeing these green candles, but when I saw this red candle, I started to get scared, man, because I did want to move my stop loss to break even like usual, but I decided not to as today has been a little bit more wicky and I didn't want to repeat the same mistake as the last trade. And that decision paid off as price did get another bounce off the 5-minute moving average line, where I decided to add 2 more contracts long and move my stop loss up. After a little bit more time though, price did finally pop up to hit my target for a fat profit. With that, price did end up breaking higher though, so I probably could have held on for a bit more, but low-key I was mentally drained already from that 40-minute trade, so I did just stop trading here. And yeah, while today I did only end up $240, I probably could have made more if I didn't move my stop loss on that second trade for no real reason. Okay, so I still ended up making some mistakes yesterday, but I was able to end green thanks to that last trade. So for today, I really was trying to keep myself under control and not do stupid trades. And at the start of the day, I was doing pretty good for that, but yeah, I ended up breaking eventually. In the morning, I was feeling overall bullish, looking for price to break above the 750s with a target towards the 850s, but I was a little cautious as we could just be in more of a range today if price just got rejected, which is what happened near market open, where we did get that break up that was just rejected pretty easily. So I was just patiently waiting, especially because there was a bunch of random news stuff early today, and damn, good thing I waited because price just gap down on my charts after some news. So shorts were low-key a move, but with that news candle, I wanted to wait a bit more, where prices got slammed down and then bought back up hella quickly. So with that, I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't trade today because I just don't see anything right now. But then I cracked shortly after when I saw this wick off the 5-minute moving average, because yeah, I really wanted to see a fat push down like earlier and was feeding for a trade, so I jumped in a short. This trade though, I really wasn't confident in because it just fell off after that news movement, and I probably shouldn't even have entered this trade at all. So when this 5-minute candle closed green, I did just bail out for a small loss. With that, the trading floodgates were open though, so yeah, I ended up taking a stab at longs for my next trade, where we kind of did get a quick pop-up, so I was feeling good about it until this fat red candle spiked price down, and then with this next candle looking heavy too, I got scared and bailed out for a loss, which yeah, I should have just held because a bit later I did re-enter long for a worse entry and a higher stop loss, and that was almost immediately wrong too. However, we did get a bounce up, so I started to feel a bit better. I wasn't too sure if we would hit my target though or stay in this tighter range, but after seeing this fat green candle, I got more confident and moved my target back up towards the highs, which price ended up slowly hitting for a decent profit. With that, I was satisfied and stopped there for the day. So while I did end up around 110 bucks today, I low-key shouldn't even have taken any trades in the first place. Alrighty, for everyone that made it to this point of the video, it's time for a secret giveaway to thank you all for watching. It has been a while since the last one, so this time I do have 4 50k starter plus accounts to give away. As usual, there's a secret Google form in the description labeled this, so fill that out before Saturday and I'll pick the 4 winners next week. Alright, so as you can tell, I'm still struggling to follow my rules to stay away from trades, and today was no different. At the start of the day, we did have jobless claims come out, but I would say I was still bullish looking for the 700s to hold and push price above the 850s to the 22,000s. But off market open, price got rejected hard and kind of fell lower, so I was starting to lean bearish, but then I glanced at the 1-minute chart and was like, ooh, a higher low and another buy up, I gotta go long, which was basically going against the current trend and didn't fit any of my setups, so I technically shouldn't have entered this trade at all, but I did, and I was immediately stopped out for a loss. After that, I did see this as consolidation before it break low. So after this wick up to reject off the key level and the 5-minute moving average line, I did enter a short, which did get a quick drop, so I decided to move my target to this next key level, as I was confident that the heavy selling could easily hit it if we broke the 700s, and nope, that shit held. So I was thinking of bailing out, because if we ain't breaking this level, I'm screwed. But I didn't, because all week I was bailing out of winning trades early, so this time I decided to hold, and this time I was wrong, because that shit bounced up and stopped me out for another loss. After that, price started to go crazy with this bounce up getting slapped down just to get bought up again. Seeing that, I saw that had something to do with Trump, so with the increased volatility, I should stay away from it, but something was calling my name, and yeah, I ended up taking a long up here off a bounce off the 5-minute moving average, which was gambling considering the increased volatility, but look, price popped up quickly to hit my target for a decent profit, so it's a dub. With that though, I wanted to go again with another long, but I was like, no, stop, you just got lucky, so I did quickly close the charts to stop myself from doing something stupid again, and thanks to that, I was able to reduce this red day to only a small loss of 24 bucks. Okay, so it's Friday and we got NFP news today, which did give price a spike up. So overall today I was still bullish as long as price held above these 650s with potential to break above the 850s. And off market open, price kind of did just pop straight up to that level, where it did give a little pullback attempt, which I was thinking of taking, but it didn't satisfy any of my rules for a setup, so I stopped myself. And it was the right call, as we did just chop around for a bit. Seeing that as consolidation though before it break up, I did end up trying to long after seeing the 5-minute moving average get closer to support these lows, but that was quickly wrong, as price did have this fat drop down to stop me out for a loss. However, price did end up recovering hella quickly with this little V bottom to bounce price back up above the 5-minute moving average, so I jumped in a long targeting only the top of this range, as today has been a little slow after the initial pop up, and this shit was taking forever. As we were slowly climbing to these previous highs from the chop earlier, I was getting scared we would just rip lower again, so I was tempted to get out at break even, but I was like, no, just hold, which I did, and price did drop lower, where honestly it was so uncomfortable sitting in this trade, but we did get a small bounce off the 5-minute moving average, which means I should add, and I did add 2 more contracts while also moving my stop loss below this wick. And while I was sweating holding this trade the whole time, we did get that push up to my target for a decent profit to put me up for the day. After that, price then just dropped down hella, which got bought up pretty quickly too, so seeing that, I was like, you know what, fuck that, I'm done for the week, and I just closed the charts to protect my profits. And because I stuck to my plan, I was able to end green with a profit of 218 bucks today. Alrighty, so for this week, I did start off horribly with Monday, but I would say that throughout the week, I was slowly getting better at saying no to the voices in my head, while also getting more confidence in my trades by actually holding them and just accepting the outcome. So while on paper, I did end like break even on the week, I would say that mentally I did improve, so I'm gonna take that as a dub. On the account though, it has just been a flat journey, with me being only up like 60 bucks over the past 2 weeks. So next week, while I do want to keep working on improving my discipline, I'm also planning on sizing up to 5 contracts, because I am taking less trades overall now, and I am getting closer to the rebuild date anyways, which might be rushing things, but I do like the idea of trading these evals more aggressively anyways, so that's what I'm probably gonna do. So I'll see you next week then.